Okay, so today's video is going to be just like what I did on Kino and Transit, but this time it's going to be Nacht or Untoten, but I'm stuck in the worst room. And it was pretty easy to decide what the worst room on this map was, just because every room on this map has been a part of a strategy at some point in this game's lifetime, except for one. The spawn room has been a popular training spot for a lot of high round games. The box room has also been a lesser known but still popular training spot, and then the room with the grenade wall by and the sawed off has been a very popular camping spot for a very long time. And while it's not really used much now and it's not really that great for high rounds, it's still a very known strat and has been used for a lot of people's games. So I decided on the trench gun slash scoped R98K slash bar room. I don't know what this room's called. I've barely ever gone in here in my lifetime playing Nacht, and when I do, it's usually just to shoot the barrels outside because blowing them up helps your game not reset as soon for high rounds. Some people might not know what that means, others will, but it makes sense if you know. But yeah, that's the only reason I've really ever gone in this room, or to like buy a gun, but again, no one really buys the trench gun, scoped Kar98, or the bar that much. So yeah, this room is just kind of not really used much at all, and it's honestly not a great place to be. And I decided to do this one just like Kino, where I would give myself until round 10 to get whatever guns and things that I could, and then go to the spot. But because this is Nacht, there's pretty much nothing to do other than hit the box, so it's pretty much just going to be me hitting the box, hoping for the best guns I can until round 10. And on my very first box of the game, I end up getting the MG42, which is the best LMG in Zombies history. Fight me on that, I don't care, it is the best. The reload on it is so insanely quick, and I love the thing. And then on my second box hit, I end up getting the ray gun, which is pretty much the best thing I could get. It's strong, it can get a zombie out of my way, it has a lot of ammo. The only thing I could really get that would make this better would be maybe the flamethrower, because it's infinite damage and infinite ammo. But like in that room, I'm not even sure I'll be able to survive long enough to be having ammo problems. So I was thinking of just keeping these and just going as far as I can, because these are probably the two best guns in the box other than the flamethrower. And after a bit of deciding and just hitting the box to see if maybe I could get the flamethrower and almost dying on round 6 while just killing zombies, I decided that after all that, I was just going to keep the MG42 and ray gun. I wasn't going to be hitting the box too much. So at the end of round 9, I just went up to this room, and I bought from the box room up here. I could have bought from spawn room, but I decided to just go from the box room because I just wasn't thinking about it, and those two little doorways I just aimed at are the two ways that I cannot leave. So I am stuck in this room. I'm not allowed to go into the little camping area over there, and I'm not allowed to go down those stairs. So I'm just stuck in this room that pretty much no one ever trains in. And so at first I started off by just kind of spamming the ray gun wherever, since it was a low round. Then after that I kind of tried to sit in the corner with that barrier where the trench gun is near, but I kind of got pushed out while reloading and had to train a little bit and almost killed myself to splash damage with the ray gun. So I kind of didn't want to sit in that corner, so I decided to try and stay at the corner near the top of the stairs that I opened, but it wasn't really that great either. I just kept messing up and almost dying, and I really didn't want to die when I got the perfect setup on my first attempt. So I was kind of just trying to find out a strategy. Like I said, I've never trained in this room. I honestly don't think anyone ever has. So I was just sort of trying to find any sort of strategy that worked in here. Then while trying to get a horde together and shoot them with the ray gun, I killed myself because the zombie was really close to me, and to be honest, I think that might actually be the first time I've ever died to the ray gun splash damage on Nacht. I know it's happened to me on Verrückt plenty of times, but on Nacht it's pretty much never happened to me, just because when I was newer to the map I was always very careful because I was terrified of dying to it, and then once I got good at it, I mean, I just kind of knew the distance and wouldn't get hit by it. But I guess being in that room just kind of ruined that. Also, being on a higher FOV makes it kind of harder to tell, and I always play on a high FOV when I'm on PC just because I like to. So yeah, I died to ray gun splash damage for I think the first time ever on Nacht, and that was really annoying because I got pretty much a perfect setup on my very first try on literally my first 2 box hits. On attempt 2, I end up just getting rolled at ward while trying to knife a zombie that lunged me into a second zombie. Then attempt 3 started out well with me actually getting to the box this time and hitting it, but the box luck wasn't going too well with me being on round 7, not really getting anything I wanted. But then at the end of round 7, I got the MG42, and then on round 9, the last round where I can actually get guns, I got the ray gun. So I got the perfect setup, literally again. Within 3 attempts, I had gotten the perfect setup twice, and the other one, well, I mean, I died before even hitting the box. But this time I decided to open up here by the spawn room just because I felt like it would be easier, since I had zombies coming from the room that like the grenade wall by is in anyway because of that one barrier, and I had zombies coming up from the stairway in there, so just not having zombies come from that stairway I thought would be easier rather than just have them come from the spawn room way anyway. So yeah, I just wanted to test if this would be easier since, I mean, yeah, I've never used this room before and I highly doubt anyone else has. This game I spent the early rounds doing the same thing as last, just trying to find a actual strategy in this room. So I tried standing in this corner again, just covering the barrier next to me and just killing everything else with the MG42. And it was kind of working, but I mean, it's only round 12, so it probably should be working. Then at round 13, I just kind of tried running around a bit and actually got past round 13 without killing myself to the ray gun this time, so I guess that's progress. On round 14, I got jump scared by 2 zombies, but in this game and BO1, by shooting a zombie, you reset its hit animation, so I was able to not get hit at all. Also, on Nacht, specifically, the zombie AI is very bad and can't really hit you unless you stand fully still, so you can just get out of a lot of situations like that without getting hit, whereas, on pretty much any other game or most other maps, you would just get hit instantly and die. So that's why Nacht, even without having perks, is still a pretty easy map to get far on. Also, the 24 zombies per round on Nacht, Varrock, and Shinonuma just make it very easy and fast to get far, but also very good for challenges like this, so I don't have to run into a ton of ammo problems. On round 15, I decided to actually try out training, but the spawns are kind of too slow for me to actually get a large group of zombies together, so it was more or less just train a little group together than shoot the ray gun. But eventually I got pushed back in that corner I was trying to camp in earlier, and things seemed like they might be going wrong, so I decided to just spam my ray gun and get out of there. And then by then there weren't too many zombies left, so I just kind of went through the rest of the round. An early insta-kill in round 17 got me through the majority of it, pretty much just spamming the spawns in here, then tossing nades toward the spawn room. And then I just got through the round because there were like 5 zombies left. And then I got a nuke very early into 18 that ended the entire round. And then on round 19, I sort of got like a somewhat of a training strategy down of just training around this one pillar and a little bit of the second one, and occasionally having to ray gun a zombie out of my way without hitting myself. And it was working. The knock zombie AI, like I said earlier, doesn't hit you a lot, so you can kind of squeeze through a lot of things without getting hit. So I was pretty much just running around this one pillar to best of my ability without hitting myself with the ray gun or just getting hit by zombies and dying, because this area really is not that big. Pretty early into round 20, while training up the horde, I got kind of cut off by the doorway and had to double back. Luckily got around them and was able to keep training around. This area, definitely not a good training spot, would not recommend it at all, but I doubt anyone is going to use it anyway. But I was able to finish off the round for 20. Like I said, 24 zombies around make the rounds very quick, and if you can get that first horde together, then you pretty much get through the round unless you kill yourself to the ray gun splash. Also, I got a nuke from one of the last zombies around 20, so I used it at the start of 21, and it killed a couple zombies, not too many because the spawns are still pretty slow at this round, and I didn't really have it for long. At the end of round 22, while running into a bit of ammo problems, I made a very interesting discovery that you can actually stand on this gravel pile. I just assumed you couldn't, so I was never running over there while training, but once I found out I could, I figured at least that means I have a little more space than I thought for training. I honestly just never thought that I would be able to, because World at War has kind of weird hitboxes, so I just figured you couldn't walk on that, but you actually can. So instead of training and like running past the doorway every time, a lot of time I would just like stop at the doorway, run back, run up that thing, and then just do a full circle. Thankfully, the horde on round 22 gave me a max ammo and an insta-kill. I was actually getting kind of low on ammo for my ray gun and pretty low for the MG42, and then I used the insta-kill next round on round 23, and it got me through the majority of it. I think there was only like 3 or 4 zombies left, so I killed them with the MG42 and then went on to round 24. On round 24, I kind of messed up while getting the horde together and got cut off and had to run all the way back to this corner, but I was able to get out of it and run straight back to where I was actually training. But then I tried to do a little cutback and get them together and got stuck, and actually just survived in the horde for way longer than I should have by just spam proning. I don't know how they weren't killing me way faster. Usually you'll die pretty fast doing this, but I was able to literally sit here doing this for an insanely long time and was actually making my way kind of out of it, but eventually got killed. I am very surprised I even survived that long. I really did not expect to get out of that because I was making barely any progress towards actually getting out of the horde. Also, if you see the 2 downs on the scoreboard, that's just a weird thing that happens on Plutonium World at War. In solo, whenever you die, it says 2 downs. I don't know why it happens, but it happens in a lot of games. I didn't have 2 downs, obviously, because Quick Revive on World at War doesn't even do anything in solo, and there's no perks on this map anyway. On my next attempt, the box took a while, but eventually it was nice to me giving me the ray gun yet again, and then I wasn't able to get the MG42, but I got the Browning, which is the second best thing. I don't like it as much as the MG because the reload on it is way slower. Then I opened up to the top room from spawn once again just because I felt like it was way better. And then I was definitely more like known to this training area a lot, and you can kind of see I was using that gravel pile to my advantage, actually running up it this time and trying to not run by that doorway and get cut off by any zombies running in there. And yeah, I was just a lot more used to actually training in this area this time. And I was so used to it that I ended up hitting around 20 after this, just killing the last few zombies with the Browning, as always, just save extra ray gun ammo. Then on around 20, I kind of got cut off and had to run back into that corner that I was originally trying to camp at. But because the ray gun is still pretty strong, I was able to just kill the ones that were trapping me back there, then run out and kill the last couple zombies around with the Browning, just to try and save ray gun ammo once again, because in this area, sometimes when I would get a nuke, it's very possible that a max ammo or anything like that would spawn in the spawn room from the zombies running up there, so I would miss drops a lot. And this is what a full horde up slash round is kind of in this. I was basically doing the same training strategy as earlier, but now just not running past the door because I would get stuck right there. And I would just use these two pillars right here as my little training area, run back towards this and just kind of circle around that gravel pile, or just turn around and shoot them depending on how many there were. I was never really going for a full horde just because it didn't feel necessary on this round. And also I got an insta-kill right there, and an insta-kill at this point in the game pretty much is a free round because I can spam the Browning or whatever my other gun would be through pretty much the entire round because like I said earlier, only 24 zombies per round on this map. And then from that insta-kill, I actually got another insta-kill and a nuke, but the last zombie was super late, so both of them were already blinking by the time I was able to end the round, so the nuke wasn't really put to much use, but I did use the insta-kill a bit on the next round. And with the help of that insta-kill, I got through 24 to go on to 25, just killing the last few zombies with my Browning as usual to save ray gun ammo. Then on round 27, I got pushed back into that same exact corner yet again. Luckily, I was able to just run straight out of there and be completely fine. Then later on, after ray gunning the horde, I was backing up against a wall, and for whatever reason, some of that wall sticks out, I guess, and I got stuck on it, stuck in the horde. Luckily, this time I proned and actually got out of it, then ray gunned the rest of them. I mean, yeah, I should not have gotten out of that, but that's just the World at War zombie AI being very weird once again, and now I know not to run against that wall ever again. That insta-kill got me through pretty much 99% of round 28. Literally, it got me down to the very last zombie, which I then just killed with the Browning once again. It's now going to round 29. Just one more round until 30, but then two zombies did the classic World at War movement and kind of moonwalked over, blocked my path, and got me stuck against that stairwell, where I eventually died on round 29 and could not attempt the challenge anymore because I had to go on a camping trip, which I'm now back from while editing this. So yeah, my best attempt around 29, just one away from 30. Would have been really nice to get that around 30, but I guess it just wasn't meant to be. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.